This meeting is being live streamed. Hey, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Facebook world. Welcome, YouTube world. Welcome, Zoom world, and everybody else who's going to be listening after the appointed time. We are so happy to have you. And today we're talking about what we're usually talking about, which is steps from this book called The 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life After COVID-19. I want to say thank you because many of you have purchased the book, so you're able to follow along with us. And for those of you who've not yet gotten your copy, I'm inviting you to go to Ask Arlene Show. That's askarleneshow.com and click on the first box, which says grab your book, okay, and get your copy. So today we're talking about secret number 6, which is focus, okay? So we know that whatever you focus on is what will grow. Whatever you focus on is what you're gonna get more of. So we're encouraging you to take a step from this book, a secret from this book, and begin being conscious of what it is that we're thinking about. So the first quote of the book is, starve your distractions and feed your focus. Okay, so when I say starve your distractions, all those little foxes, the little things that are bothering you and bugging you, there's so many things when you have a business that are going on. And so a lot of people are like, well, I've got to take care of this thing over here and that thing over there. And you've got to starve those things, okay? Get some help. This is the most important thing in business. Get some help. So there are things right now that you have to do that are hindering you from truly making progress and 10xing your business. So the concept is that you are going to ask your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your friends, your co-workers, your other business partners, or people that you know that are in business, give them some jobs that you don't want to do that are distracting you, and then take on some of the jobs that you know they don't want to do that are easy for you. So for me, the challenge is the like paying bills. I don't like to pay bills. So some people would say, automate it, okay? Put it on a system, don't let it distract you. And I spoke about this in one of the lives where I talked about the secret obstacle that many of the business owners are missing that's causing them to be less successful is this one tool, tip, or technique, which is that they are in the business, working in the business instead of working on the business. So the idea is to be looking at the business and dotting all the I's and crossing the T's. That's ideally where we want to be. So some of us have very small businesses and we're just starting out. So we're the chief cook and bottle washer. But what I'm suggesting is there are also other people who are in the same place as us. Enlist them to do some of the things that you don't want to do and vice versa. Okay, so that we can move forward and win at this game of life and win at business. Okay, so let's get started. Starve your distractions and feed your focus. So the first thing that we want to say in chapter 6 is shift your focus. If you're not focused on truly what you want, begin to shift it and focus on the things that you want, because whatever you focus on is what grows. So it says, the secret to getting unstuck is to shift our focus. If you will begin by focusing on what you do want instead of what is or what was or what could be, the solution will begin to come to you. For example, if you have an unhappy marriage and you're looking to find a mate, does watching movies about abusive husbands and wives and trying to kill each other or vice versa, watching a movie where the happy couple get together and live happily watch a movie where the happy couple get together and live happily ever after. This is a key thing. It's so simple. It's easy to do, but it's easy not to do. It's like eating the apple a day. Everybody knows you should eat an apple a day to be more healthful. It's not eat a chocolate bar a day, but how many of us eat an apple a day? It's simple to do, but it's simple not to do. So the things that we watch on television, do they impact our lives? For 3 hours, you're sitting and focusing. Your energy, your mind, your body, your spirit is all focused on this one tragic scene, this one tragic movie where all the people die, all the people have poor relationships. Guys, take a moment and look at what it is that you're feeding your mind, Okay, because remember, there's the conscious mind and there's the subconscious mind. Why do people cry at movies? Is it because they really, really think that, the person died? No, they know the person didn't die in the movie, but we're so vested in what's going on that our subconscious mind is taking it in. And so for that moment, while we're focused, we cry. When you watch a happy movie, you get up and you're happy. Does it mean that we really are consciously believing that, oh, Jimmy and Cassidy ran off and lived a happy life? No, not necessarily, but subconsciously we're taking it in. So this is the same way. This is a tool, a tip, a technique. If you want to achieve a successful business, watch movies with successful business owners. See yourself in the movie. Just like with the visualization technique, we're saying we should visualize, we should see this. But what better way to visualize it when it's right there on the screen in front of us, guys? Take this tool, take this tip. It's a secret, but the reason why it works so well is that everything is vested, okay? You have the emotion as if you're experiencing it, which is what you do during visualization. You're seeing it, which is what you do during visualization. You're seeing it in your mind's eye, but now you're actually seeing it. This is a great thing. Start watching shows that reflect the things that you want to happen in your life, and stop watching the shows where the people are suffering from the very thing that you're suffering from, okay? Think about it. Think about the programs that we like. I used to have a habit of, I didn't realize it was detrimental, but I love to watch these shows with single women. Living Single was one of my favorite shows. What was that show? With all the women. Any show with all the women and they're laughing and joking.
Yeah, Girlfriends.
Girlfriends, that's it. How did you guys know? Okay.
I watched TV back in the day. Yeah.
I had to stop watching those programs because they were feeding my mind and feeding my subconscious this concept that was good. And then I wondered why I was reflecting the things that I was watching and enjoying so much. Okay, moving right along. So story. Early in my career, after graduating with a degree in political science, I was on a mission to work in and make a significant positive difference in my community. A key person in my community was a lady in charge of the police precinct. I had lunch with this lady and a local clergy member who was a friend of hers. She stated during the lunch meeting that she would make every effort to help me with my work. Then she waxed poetic about how important it was for her to see young people getting involved in the community. And she went on and on. She gave me her number and said in front of the clergyman that she would call me. She didn't call me, guys. She never called me. So I called her. I was proactive. I called her and I called her and I called her. I called her morning, noon, and night for a good while before I finally gave up and realized that she was never going to call me back. One day after I had given up, I just decided to focus on what it was that I truly wanted, and allowed it to come to me instead of chasing her down like a pit bull with a rag. So pit bulls are known for locking their jaws and not letting go, if you guys didn't know that. So after a couple of months later, so that's the secret. Sometimes we're vested and we need to just let it go. Okay, do what you can, all that you can, and then let it go. This is part of the law of attraction, guys. So in terms of focus, you focused on it, you're doing it, you're giving it everything you can, you're giving it your all, and it's not manifested, leave it alone. So this is what I did here. So a couple of months later, I was sitting at my kitchen table and I got a phone call from another community leader who stated that this woman needed my help to wrap presents for the Christmas gift giveaway at Christmas time and that I should call her. Well, I told him flatly that I understood that she needed help, but she did not want my help as she would not return my call. He stated that she would answer my call now, and she did. So months later, after I had forgotten how hard it was to reach her and how she had ignored me, I was sitting at her kitchen table and I was eating the delicious spaghetti that she had made for both of us. And I had accomplished another project with her. And I heard the phone ring and watched her sit there in silence as the person on the phone begged for help. Guys, what is the message here? What is the message? She was doing it to everybody. But what was the distinction between me and the other people? I think there's something called the law of attraction. I let it go. Okay? I just let it go. And then what I really wanted and what I truly desired, it came to me, which is that I got a phone call while I was sitting in my kitchen, minding my own business, with my own family. I got a phone call saying this lady needed me and I should call her. And when I did, it worked. So what's my message for you? Let it go. Do all that you can and let it go. Relax. Some of you, the reason why it hasn't manifested yet is because you're doing just what I said in this book. You're holding on to it with like a pit bull with a rag. I'm not going to let go. They have to let me in. These people have to be my client. If that person is not your client, move on to the next person. And if that one isn't, move on to the next one and the next one. Okay. So just keep going. So now we have hundreds of people in our mastermind group. But when we started, we had very few people in our mastermind group. I think we started with 5 people, and they were the 5 people that were on my radar, the 5 people that were on my call. And those were the 5 people that joined my mastermind. So let it go. Okay. Do what you can and release it. So another thing, focus is a secret to getting unstuck and coming into the thing that you truly desire. Now, I know that some may be thinking, this is too metaphysical, what I'm saying, like just let it go and it'll come to you, or it's too spooky, or it's too woo-woo. But whatever you focus on will grow, whether it's the disaster that has taken place in your life or the light that you want to bring in. Where is your focus? And if you notice, you seem to be going in cycles. The same thing that happened a couple of years ago happened again. And the same thing that happened last week happened this week. And you seem to just keep going in these cycles. So what is the answer? The answer is to let it go, okay? As a keynote speaker at the conference said, the cavalry is not coming to get you. We have to work towards getting out of stuck mode ourselves. We are consciously and subconsciously hoping that someone will help us with the coronavirus, with our homework, with our bills, etc. We are hoping that someone will take our hand and lead us out of this pit of grief or disaster. I am a nice person. I helped many people. I was a Girl Scout. I wore the hat and the badge. So somebody should come and help me. But that's not how it works, guys. That's not how it helps. We have to be our own rescuer. We have to be our own help. We have to read books. We have to get online. We have to, do exactly what you're doing now. Get information that's going to help you to move forward. So one of the things it says is nothing happens until we make it happen. So it sounds like I'm saying 2 things, but I'm really not. I'm saying on the one hand, nothing happens until you move. But once you've moved and you've done what you can, you have to allow God or the universe or whatever you believe in to then take the next step and move it forward, as opposed to you fighting with everybody and everything. All right. And I love the story of the lady who sat on the bus, Rosa Parks. And I wrote about it in the book because in her situation, she used passive aggression. So she just sat. She did what she did and she sat. And she was able to start a movement. She wasn't really fighting and punching the driver. I mean, they would have just killed her, basically. But all she was doing was sitting. So sometimes you have to get in that space, own that space, and sit. Okay? Take a breath, take a breather, take a deep breath, and ask for wisdom for the next steps. But remember, the same thing, the same way is the definition of insanity. So don't be a pit bull with a rag. Okay? If you remember nothing else from my talk today, that's one of the things that you should be thinking about. Be kind to yourself along the journey. You are your own rescue. You are able to win. And another story that I talk about is the story of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, when he was creating the light bulb, he had 1,000 tries. Okay. And some people would say he failed 1,000 times before he found out or figured out how to do the light bulb. But other people would say he didn't fail, because what he said is, I never failed once. I just figured out 1,000 ways that didn't work. Okay. So he was just so positive about his experience, which is why he was able to keep going. If we're beating up on ourselves, I should have started this business by now. This business should be 10x by now. Oh, I should have 10 books by now. Oh, that's not the energy that is going to yield our growth in our business, project, or endeavor. Okay, so take a breath. Know that you can do it. Know that you've been placed here for a purpose and a time and a season. Okay, and sometimes it's not the right season because other people have to get into place in order for you to come into what you need to come into. So in the story, you know, some people might say it's a silly little story, but in that story, when she needed help with the packing of the boxes and the Christmas gifts, that was when the season opened up. Maybe before that, she really didn't need help. So I wasn't really as valuable. But once the season came, the door opened. So even if I had been beaten down her door and continued to try to kick it in, it made much more sense. All I did was make myself look crazy. Whereas when I stopped and then I called her, she was like, oh, okay, come right in. So what I want you to do is share with me now something that you are endeavoring to do and you have felt challenged in accomplishing it. Tell me something that you have been working on and you felt challenged in accomplishing it. You can type it or you can share it.
Well, I'll start. For me, it's been like, I don't know. I kind of like, first and foremost, this is my first business, and it's been a daunting task for me. First and foremost, during the pandemic, and second of all, you know, finding my niche and finding the correct target market people. You know, so it's a learning process. I'm progress over perfection. I'm working.
So the challenge is, oops, I can't hear you. You're muted. Oh, wait, somebody else said, wait, I can't hear you. Are you talking?
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
1 second. Hold that thought. I want to share what somebody said in the chat. She said, this is Gloria. She said, Edison took credit for all of the work that was done by his employee site. Well, maybe that's also why he was so relaxed about the fact that he had tried it 1,000 times. So maybe, I'm not saying we should steal anybody else's thunder, but maybe we should enlist other people to help us to accomplish the goal that we need to accomplish. Okay, you can respond to that, Gloria. Go ahead, Dennis. I'm sorry, start again.
Yes, so pretty much releasing my fear and getting unstuck has been my problem, is what I come to realize. Because if I work diligently and consistently and prioritize correctly and learn more, be able to soak things up like a sponge, I believe I can do this. I got this. You know, especially with the help of this wonderful platform. Is that Miss Vinta? Oh, how you doing, Miss Vinta?
I'm well. I'm so sorry I'm late. You know,
Okay.
we just ended the other call, so.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Hi, Omeka.
So with that being said, I'm working on just staying diligent with it. I'm working on staying consistent or getting diligent and getting consistent and continue on this endeavor. You know, this platform has been like wonderful for me. I can't express that enough. I'm so humbly grateful for this platform, and I believe everything's going to manifest itself correct.
Excellent. I think that one of the key secrets, even just in terms of focus, is to set your mind right. And one of the things that I heard you saying, Dennis, is that you believe that you're going to make it and that everything is going to work out. So that's half the battle, you know, truly believing. One of the things that I want to challenge you to do is to not only think about, and this was in the show today, guys, if you didn't see, weren't a part of the taping with me today at 12, I want you to make sure that on Thursday at 6:30, you see that show that was taped today by this wonderful woman who came to share her wisdom with us. She's a lawyer, she's a psychologist, she is a award winner, she's a business mogul. She just had it all. But one of the things she said, and I'm sharing with you now too, is that we need to find enjoyment and find contentment in where we are now in order to move forward. So I'm always talking about this book, The 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck and Living Your Best Life. And I say that one of the secrets is visualizing the future. And one of the things you said is that you were looking forward to the future and you were positive about the future. But I want you to shift that to find the joy in the now, to find the peace in the where you are right now. And if you can't find it, look for it. And sometimes I say, well, if you don't know what it is to find joy in, well, pretend that you did know. What would it be if you did know? Okay, do you know what you can be joyful about now in terms of the challenge?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me something that you can be joyful about now.
Well, I'm joyful to even be granted this platform, to even have a coach such as yourself, Miss Coach Arlene McLaren. I'm grateful. I'm so humbly grateful. I can't express it enough. This is all I need.
Okay, beautiful. So one of the things that you're grateful for is that you're a part of this platform, you're part of the mastermind, you're part of the group, and in so doing, you can find some joy.
Yes, ma'am. It's possibilities are endless.
Excellent. So the idea is that if you can find joy and peace in the now, that will fuel your passion for moving forward. One of the reasons why people get stuck and it's so hard to make that business move forward is that we're constantly thinking about what the business is not. What don't I have now? What's missing? I'm endeavoring to move forward. I'm endeavoring to do that website. I'm endeavoring to do this and that. And I'm stretching and I'm reaching and I'm tired. Okay. As opposed to, people like this, guys, you're laughing, but people like this, they're stretching and they're reaching. Oh, I just got to get this business done. I've just got to do this website. Like, come on. Are you physically lifting weights? Or is it really something that you need to type on the computer? Okay, we get so intertwined and we get so weary. The idea is if we can find joy in the now, peace in the now, we can use that energy, because it'll give us energy, just in what you said. Don't you feel better knowing that there's something positive that you can talk about? Yes,
ma'am. This is larger than life. This is beyond me. Like, I can't express that enough. Yes,
beautiful. Ma'am. You went from not being able to really express your business ideas and concepts on a broad scale to now you're live. You're live on Facebook, you're live on YouTube, you're live on Zoom. You've got a host of people that are listening to you and you're sharing your vision, your dream, and your plan. Okay, so anybody that's been following the show knows that Dennis has a book. Okay, I want to see that book, Dennis. Dennis is working on that book. So the idea is if we find joy in the now, it'll give us energy, okay, and passion to move forward to the next step. So we can make those incremental moves and we celebrate ourselves each step of the way. Celebrate and then make another incremental move and celebrate yourself. And what I'm going to say is everybody should have a coach, a partner, a mentor, somebody who can remind you and celebrate you, okay? Because sometimes we forget to celebrate ourselves, especially within our culture, and there are many people from different cultures, but I'm going to say it. In our culture, sometimes we're taught not to celebrate ourselves. Don't think too highly of yourself. Well, I'm giving you permission today. Think highly of yourself, okay? Arlene said, think highly of yourself, okay? Jean-Pierre, Jean T, Gloria, Binta, Olmeca, everybody, think highly of yourself. Why not? Many other cultures are taught to think highly of themselves. Okay? Celebrate your win, the micro wins, okay? Because when you celebrate the micro wins, guys, the message is it leads to the macro wins. All right. So what we focus on grows. So we're focusing on the joy, the good, the pure, the clean, the things that bring us joy so that they will propel us, give us passion and energy to move into that next place. So a lot of people say, well, step number 4, which is proximity, surrounding ourselves with the people who are doing the things that we want. But you know what's one of the secrets why we want to do that? Because their energy is different from ours. They're already doing it. So they're already happy. They're already joyful. They're already content. And we're still struggling. The idea is to get out of the struggle. What is it? Struggle love? Forget the struggle love. All right. Love ourselves. Okay. Be passionate and love what we're doing and begin to move forward. Okay. This is easy, guys. This is easy. This is not in the fields of, the back roads of some place where we have to dig fields and, bale hay. This is fun. The reason why you're called to write this book, the reason why you're called to do this business, Binta, where you're doing the essential oils, is because it's something you love doing. It's a gift. It's a joy. So all we have to do, Olmeca, with your drumming is get into that seat, sit in that seat and enjoy where we are right now. Okay, what else? Tell me what else. Or should we move on?
What else in what aspect?
What other challenge are you having right now that you'd like to share with us, that you'd like me to coach you around?
Let's see. Other than that, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I ain't got no worries other than that. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Woo! He's too blessed to be stressed. Awesome. Woo-hoo! Okay. All right. The check is in the mail. All right. You guys like that one, huh? I have people on the call too. Okay. Amel, I know you're there too, listening. Okay, go ahead. Who wants to share with us? Share with us something that you're working on right now that you've been challenged by. We have no problems, just challenges. So share with us something that you're challenged by, and you can type it in the chat too. So I know I have some people here that are watching with us, and we have some people on the call. So go ahead, type or raise your hand and share.
Yeah. I realized that just allowing myself to do something very small, which is to make these bracelets, it's giving myself permission to do the bigger things this is something I'm going to make hundreds of these, but right now it's only like 5 or 6. It's allowing me to say, oh, you did it. And to celebrate that micro win. And it's like, all right, because the CD is only going to take like an hour or 2. I just have to sit down for an hour or 2 with not a whole bunch of things around me. So looking forward to it. And I'm just not going to beat myself up about it. But that is one of the things. Also, actually starting, especially this year, since they're holding people more accountable, shall I say, to having a business, not just a flea market table, or just they're holding people accountable to keep track of their so I'm like, wow. I said, okay. So I realized sometimes putting pressure on me or on myself from the outside or inside, and I put in I don't like to use the word deadline, a date. There we go. A date of finishing is helpful. So using those more and getting more done. And I got the cooking down. It's like, okay, I'm gonna cook for a week. Let me just get in the kitchen for about 3 hours. And it's like, okay, as easy as that was, it's time to start the mastermind. Time to go open the bank account. So the funds are coming and things are coming. Resources are coming to make it easier. So I'm so happy and grateful.
Beautiful. So I talked about I talked about being content where you are and finding joy in where you are and getting out of the struggle. So that was Dennis's vision. My vision for you, based on what I hear regularly, is focus. So there's the jewelry business. You're talking about, the feeding. There's the drumming. And you also said today, you said that you need to do it so that it's a business instead of just doing it the way that you're doing it. So I want to know, what is the distinction between what you're doing now and what you would be doing if this was actually a business?
Record keeping. Straight up record keeping. Yeah, I think I was like a old woman in the village somewhere, making things and trading, and we might not have had papers and pens, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so in order to grow, in order to be recognized as a business, I mean, people, you're doing business or you're doing business, just being more accountable, so I can see if I'm growing or not, or what are the sales this week, or all of that. Yeah.
What are you selling, Omika?
We'll say that a little quieter, but no. Jewelry, drum classes, and ebooks on healthy eating and healing, self-healing.
If you had to start with one today, which one is the most lucrative so far? Which one has been the most?
The jewelry, because I already have like tables full of it that I made over the last couple of years.
Where do you sell the jewelry?
About to. She's the about to girl. Other people's stores. It's the systems. Whatever I'm doing, it's the systems that are keeping me. I'm letting my mind tell me that it's keeping me from moving forward. So since I don't know how I'm going to package these products and have the system, whether they're on consignment or whether I'm wholesaling them to someone, I'm still sitting here, and the beads are still sitting here.
Okay. Have you ever done wholesaling or consignment?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 40 years. I've just been doing it. Random acts of jewelry making.
So you've been doing it, wholesaling it?
No, mostly retailing. Both though, really both. That's why I make hundreds of something. And so would it make sense for me yesterday was making sense for me to go ahead and just sell them things for $5 a piece. And I'm like, okay.
Which way has been most financially beneficial for you?
Well, at the end of the day, but if I'm paying $4,000 rent, or if I'm paying $1,000 for vending, things have changed. So it's just it's a passion, but moving it into a place where I am keeping a business about it, because I could just leave it as a hobby and just kind of randomly sell stuff. I just have so much of beads. It's like, so yeah, people say focus. Well, I could like put my beads online and sell them and give them away tomorrow and just be done with beads after 40 years and just be
focus on the question.
Keep all my beads,
Which way?
So my mind, I'm here a lot. I'm in my head a lot, and
hang on a second.
Focus. Which way? Staying with something until it's finished.
Okay, but we want to know which way of the different ways that you have been able to sell the beads has been the most financially remunerative. Which way has brought you the most returns?
Most of what I've done is retail, but I've actually had a physical store. So you have to pay rent. This is before social media and all that, really. So I can't really answer that truthfully. I mean, because if I'm paying for rent and utilities and electric, and I can't say that's more lucrative. That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
How did you get the clients when you were in the retail location?
I opened the door.
Was it like it was a downtown area? It was high
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of traffic. Right. Open the door. Yeah. Open the door.
So
Put hours on the door and open it up and be ready for people to come in. Yeah.
Okay. So right now you don't have a shop and you're not opening up the doors, but there are places where you can go where there are a lot of people. Even in our network, there are a lot of people. If you were to then again open your door virtually and tell us, I am selling jewelry, and show us, you're on here every week, and show us the jewelry, even one piece. Is it possible? Is it possible that in a retail capacity, people could buy?
Absolutely. This is called Shopify or whatever. Yeah, so many different ways. Yeah. It's just shifting and making a commitment and going ahead and doing it.
Okay, so this is the question for this week. Can you start with one thing this week, which is to get one piece of jewelry, the best-sellingest, most selling piece of jewelry that you have, that you know this is the one that people will just buy. Okay, buy, whether it's wholesale or retail, get that one piece. Okay, and I want you to show, okay, I'm not even saying do the write-up, I'm saying show it. When you go to Mastermind A, Mastermind B, and you're part of this network, can you show that one piece of jewelry and ask people to buy? Enlist them in the process. Tell them that your coach gave you a challenge, and your challenge is to sell, okay? Sell 10 rounds of whatever it is. What do you call it? What do you call the piece of jewelry?
I have all kind of things. I have
tell me the one.
Spiral magic bracelets. I have some of those.
Thank you. You are going to sell 10 spiral magic bracelets this week in your mastermind calls. Whether it be, you go to a ton of them. I can't even, Kim Possible and this one and that one and the other one. Tell them your coach has given you a challenge. You have to sell 10 of them. So can they please buy your magic bracelet today? Okay? That's it.
Thank you, Connie.
I don't care if it's $2 for a bracelet. I want 10.
No, they're not $2. They take me an hour.
Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Remember, the concept is wherever focus goes, wherever energy goes,
yeah, absolutely,
focus will flow, right? So if you're focused on this, oh my gosh, I have to do 10 sales this week. Oh, somebody just typed in the chat. You know what they said? I want one. Okay? I want one. So you're selling 9. This is a business. A business is a business because people buy your product. In order for people to buy, they have to know what you sell. Okay, so let's start with that one thing, that one product. I know you have a ton of wonderful products.
No, I'm not. I'm trying not to even say anything. There's no
your greatest since sliced bread, and we celebrate you because I love it when you drum and you say my name and make up songs. But this week, 10 bracelet sales. Come back, and I know you're going to crush it. I know you're going to do more than 10. Because people want to enlist. People want to feel good, and they feel good when they support. Really and truly, nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy. People love to say, I bought the book. Okay, buy the book if you haven't bought the book, because buying the book is great. We don't want to be sold. Oh, I love you. You see, she's showing her book. You haven't got your book.
I know. It's on the list.
There we go.
Making decisions. They say people make decisions quicker. It's a better thing. Yeah, and I feel that.
Okay, so that's it.
Thank you, kindly.
50 minutes after. Anybody else who wants to ask a question and wants coaching around one area that we need to move forward in, that we're challenged by. There are no problems, only challenges. So you'd like to get some coaching around this one area. And that's for you guys online too.
Well, I'm just sitting here listening and just taking everything in and keep going, keep going, doing what I'm doing. There's challenges in every life. There's challenges every moment. It's just the way you look at it. It's just the way you look at it and how you deal with it. I am challenged every time I come on Zoom to teach my yoga class because I'm so freaking nervous about speaking in public and reading in front of people. But I do it because that is what my soul calls me to do, and I do it, even though it's challenging. But after I do it, you know what I tell myself? Binta, you did great. I just congratulate myself and celebrate a small micro. I tell myself, you did great. I go look in the mirror, you did great. You know, even though I was nervous in front of people, Malcolm will tell you, she comes to my class and she's been wonderful. But that is something that I was struggling with for a long time. And so it's a challenge. But because of you, Arlene, I committed to doing it. And like I was saying to Ross, I committed to doing it and I'm doing it every week. I do it every week. Sometimes I don't do it because of other things, but I do it. I show up to do it. And you know what? I'm getting better. I'm better at it. Every week, day by day, I'm getting better at it. And not even just doing it once a week, but I'm practicing outside. I teach yoga in the park. And the other day I taught yoga in the park where there's so many people and I didn't get nervous and people were walking by, passing by, children running around playing and, under the oak tree. But I didn't let that distract me. Before I would say, oh, who's watching? Somebody must be watching me. But no, the more I do it, the more you practice doing it, the more you get better at it. It's really true. So I'm doing it. And my products that I'm creating, I'm working on it and it's coming. Every day is a progress. It's a progress. Just because I want it fast doesn't mean the universe is I just let everything flow. And everything is flowing beautifully. And when it's ready, I'm going to share with you because the products carry my name. They bear my name. So I'll share with you when everything is ready to go. But I'm definitely doing it. I'm doing it, and I'm just like I said, every day is a challenge. It's just the way you look at it, and tell myself that look at myself as prosperity in my life. Think of prosperity as opposed to failure and poverty. Prosperity, because there's prosperity everywhere you look. Like Bob Proctor talks about, there's prosperity. Look at that, the universe, how it gives and receives. It's about giving and receiving. The universe is always providing us everything. So don't limit yourself. And that's what I'm learning. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, but I'm learning to kind of put myself in those
situations.
Yes.
So I love what you said, Binta. I love what you said. You said that you are moving forward, even though you feel the challenges. You're joyful and you're moving forward in joy and contentment. And that's exactly what we're saying. You have taken some strides. Like in the beginning, you were apprehensive about even starting your yoga group.
Yes.
Like, well, I've got to have this in place and I got to have that in place and I got to do this. And I'm like, why?
He's like, why? Okay. So I'm like, why? Why?
Why does it? And look at you now. Now you're sharing with us. You have a supportive group, which is the power of the mastermind. Okay. You have a supportive group of people who are saying, yes, you can. Your coach is saying, absolutely, Binta, you can do this. Let's set a date and let's get started. And you have done it. And now you're telling me that you're in the park exposing yourself to everyone. No more hiding. That's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Valerie will tell you. Valerie Fagan, she practices yoga with me. She'll tell you.
Awesome. Now you're moving forward because you know what you're practicing? You know what secret you're practicing? Secret number 3. You know what that is? Do you remember? Momentum.
Momentum, yes. Right here, momentum.
There you go. Show it to me. Show me that book. Awesome, Binta. Show me that book, girl. All right, guys, for those of you that are just listening, she just showed my book, The 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life. So I'm celebrating her for that. So the idea is that once you get started moving in the direction that you want, of your dreams, of your goals, of your visions, momentum takes over and you keep moving. And it's like a snowball. It gets bigger and bigger. And then you said that the young lady comes with you and does it with you in the park. Is that not what I said would happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We
yes.
don't have to know the whole picture. Just begin moving in the direction and the divine, whether you believe in God or you believe in the universe or you believe in whatever, it comes to you. The car in the driveway, in the garage, does not get the GPS information. But once you start to move, once you pick up the piece of jewelry and say, here it is, I'm selling it, I want you to buy it, people begin to say, oh, okay, well, how much is it? All right, I'll get one.
Yes.
Okay, even though they maybe weren't even thinking jewelry that day, or they weren't thinking poetry book, Dennis. One of the things is to move. So I said, get your group together, right? Just like Binta has a group. Get your group together of whatever it is. I don't know what you want to sell, Jean T. Tell us what it is that you're doing. Gloria Miller, tell us what it is that is your business so that we can also support you and help you to move forward. So I'm glad that you're on the mastermind call. I'm glad, and Kathy Klein was on here too. I'm glad that you're on the mastermind call, but I also want it to be of benefit to you. And the best way that you can be of benefit or benefited is by typing and telling me what your challenge is so that we can work through it and that you can get the support of the entire group to just have that collective consciousness of positive support. So some of us don't have that support in our family, you know, or in our background. And so that's why we're allowing our subconscious mind to tell us we have to wait. Oh, I have to wait for this, or I have to wait for this, or this has to be in place, or that has to be in place. But the truth is, we can go where we want to go. We can do what we want to do, and we can be who we want to be in the world. Okay, that is the truth. Everything else is a lie. All right. We just have to begin moving in that direction, and we'll see how people come to support us from the left and from the right. So what is step number one? I want you to get a coach, okay? Maybe your coach is not me. It doesn't have to be me, but I would love to help you, and I would love for it to be me. Go to askarleneshow.com and sign up, subscribe, and sign up and tell me what it is that you need life coaching on, in what area, and we'll work with you. Or maybe I will need to refer you to one of our other coaches because, for example, you want to start a business that's a trucking company. All right. And I don't know that much about trucking. So there are other coaches that are a part of our platform that may be able to help you with coaching about trucking, how to start a trucking company. But the idea is to get up and take that first step, okay? Move in the right direction. So the word is decide, okay? And decide comes from the word kaidir, which means to cut. So once you join and you're a part of the family, you cut off all other options that say it can't be done, okay? Failure is not an option, like Frederick Douglass says. Failure is not an option. So I just celebrate you. I'm so glad that you joined us today. Thank you so much, Jean T and Gloria, and thank you, Amel, and everybody else who's on who didn't talk. I celebrate you too, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay, so go to askarleneshow.com and subscribe and tell us who you are so that we can have you be part of the fun. Thank you
so much.
And thank you. We're so glad to see you.
Take care. All right. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.